Alright guys, welcome back to the Wiser Dude YouTube channel. Today what we're going to be doing is two separate melts. We're going to melt some brass right here in this 2 kilogram crucible, and we're going to melt some copper in this 5 kilogram crucible. And I'll show you how we're separating these here. So what I have is a bunch of old plumbing from bathroom sinks and kitchen sinks. Oh, Wiser Dude metal casting. Cheers, by the way. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning right now, too. Alright, so I have a bunch of metal from a big job I did. I did some plumbing for a whole apartment complex. That's 84 units of scrap copper and brass that I brought home with me from that job. So as you can see, these are already very pretty. I've already cut the ends off and flattened them down with a hammer so I can fit as many as possible in there. These are the ends that I've been cutting off, and here are some that I've just cut off but I haven't flattened yet. And then here's what they look like before I start doing anything. So I have to cut that end off right here because that's brass, and then this pipe is copper, and then I'll flatten that. Alright, so we're going to get started with that real quick. Start separating them. And I already did a bunch to cut down the time on the video. I'll show you how it's done. It's pretty simple. Just as far back as you can get it so you can get the most copper out of it. Bend it a little bit, see? Now you got the copper piece and the brass piece. We'll just separate them. I don't want to melt them together because I really just want some pure copper coins, or maybe a nice bar. I haven't decided what I'm going to cast it into yet. The easiest thing to do would be to make a bar because I could do it all in one shot. But the coolest thing to do are the coins, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be about 45 minutes of melting, about 20 for the brass and 25 for the copper. But I'll pause the recording and skip through all that. Alright, so you can see I got my pieces here. Got a stack of copper here. And we take it to my homemade anvil. I made that from a steel core and a bunch of aluminum. Alright, I just take these and hammer them down. See, we get a very nice piece. Alright, I'm going to pause the recording, that way we can fast forward through this whole process. But after I hammer them down, I just take them right over here and put them in this new crucible. This is brand new and it's a 5 kilogram crucible. Alright, I'm going to hammer out the rest of those and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we got the 2 kilogram crucible packed with a whole bunch of brass in there. In the furnace, we've got the furnace hooked up to a 100-pound propane tank. That tank is really big. That's a normal sized tank right there. And then look how big that thing is. So we pulled out the big boy tonight because we're going to be melting for a while. Yeah, we got the brass in there, and as that melts, I'll keep adding more to it. And this is the rest of the brass that I'm going to keep dropping in as the other stuff melts. Once we've melted all the brass and casted that, then we'll switch over to copper. So I've got this crucible almost full. This is a 5 kilogram. While the brass is melting and stuff, I'll work on more copper and have extra, right here on the side to keep adding in. So we'll get that going. But for now, let's fire up this furnace. And I gotta fucking turn that damn radio off. Hang on. I'm not supposed to be recording with the radio on because then they fuck with me over copyright issues. Alright, so little piece of toilet paper right here. Get the lid on there, nice and tight. Light the toilet paper. Throw that in the middle. And then we turn on the propane. Alright guys, now we're cooking. I'll pause the recording and let that melt, and then we'll just keep adding it in until we run out. Alright guys, it's time for some torch action. Pretty cool. I love that propane torch. Alright guys, here comes my favorite part. We're getting ready to pour. Damn it. Hang on, I'm fucking having some technical difficulties. It's a lot of dross on the top of there. I'll try to get that off. Alright guys, here we go. I can't really see what I'm doing. Here we go. Alright, we're going to let that cool for a second and pause this recording to save time. Then we'll try to do another set. I don't know about this stuff, guys. I'm going to pour it in here. It looked like it had too much dross in it, so I didn't want to try to risk it with the coin. Pure brass. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to melt the copper on this video. But yeah, you saw the skull. There's the Buddha. There's the Iron Man. Really cool looking. Here's the bar. I only cleaned the top so far. And then here's the chunk of stuff that looked like it had too much dross in it. But it's pretty solid. Alright, let's get it on the scale. See what we got. Alright, this is set to grams. We'll throw the skull on there. 107.5. 219. 319. Then the bar. 834. Then the chunk. So throw that on there too. 995 grams of brass. We have 833.5 grams of pure brass. This stuff has a lot of dross in it still, so I'll have to remelt this to get that out. But there's still a lot of brass in there. But you can see the other stuff on top that's all crazy looking. That's dross. But if I remelt it, I'll be able to pull that out. So cool. Nice bar. Kind of an ugly chunk. And 3 decent coins. I over poured this, as you can see on the edge here. But I could always clean that up with the grinder. And the same thing for this one. I over poured it. You can see right here on the edge. See? And right here at the bottom too. I could always hit them with this 80 grit flap disc on my angle grinder and knock those sides down. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm about to start drinking and probably start another video. But thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the Wiser Dude Metal Casting YouTube channel. Yeah, these coins came out pretty cool. I'm about to get a new set of molds too in a couple days. I'm excited about that, so stay tuned.